And now for something completely different. After all the trekking, I decided I'd try out a bit of pedalling, and I've decided to have a go at going to the Arctic Circle, and it's September now in 2012. We're in Riga. This is my starting point by the Freedom Monument. I've got some friends here to say goodbye. Aussie friends from Australia. There's a friend Aldi, some other mates there. This is the vehicle right here. This is not all of my luggage. They're all going on holiday somewhere else, and this is the vehicle. This is what I'm going to have to try and make it all the way there with, so we'll see how it goes.
Here he is, riding off to the polar bears and Santa.
Goodbye Riga. It's early morning of day 2, and here's my first border crossing, Republic of Estonia, and that means changing money. We're in the Eurozone now, and changing languages. Estonian is of Finno-Ugric origin, which is related to Finnish, so that's the first real sign of that I really truly am heading north. So the next border crossing will be across the ferry to Finland from Tallinn. This is my check-in time at Tallinn ferry terminal. It's my check-in for the ferry to Helsinki, and it's day 3 now, and I'm just waiting here to get on that wonderfully coloured ferry over there, and the journey should take about 4 hours, and I should be there, and hopefully I'll get through Helsinki without getting lost, and maybe even find a nice place to camp and get a well-deserved rest after all the stress of getting through all this process. Made it to Helsinki, and what an intense time I've had. Amazing. I rode over 100 kilometers. I've been through 2 capital cities, spent 4.5 hours on a ferry, got to Helsinki, got through rush hour of a capital city, found the highway that I have to be on, cars everywhere, noise. I'm not really sure where I am, I just know I'm on the right highway, and it's getting late and I don't know what's up ahead. But I thought it'd be better that I just simply stop riding and regroup a bit, because it's just information overload at the moment. I need to calm down and regain my bearings and repack my kit, and I'm actually, looks like I'll be camping in between 2 highways. There's noise, there's going to be road noise everywhere, but it's not the worst scenario that I thought I was going to be getting into. The worst one, I thought I'd be sleeping in a ditch tonight. So, well, let's look on the bright side. I'm 1 day ahead of schedule, and I'm not sleeping in a ditch. So, well, that's not bad. It's day 5, and I feel like I'm on God's earth. It's just so beautiful out here, and this is supposed to be the more boring part of the trip. I finally got my map scale sorted out, and I'm learning to choose the right sort of roads. On the scale map that I had, it was quite misleading. What looked like tiny little dirt tracks are actually very, very fine roads to ride along, and without much traffic. And I'm way ahead of schedule. Everything seems to be in shape. I've broken a spoke on one of my wheels, and the wheel's a bit buckled, so I might have to get it serviced a bit. Otherwise, all good. I got soaking wet yesterday. It rained, and it was a very interesting finishing the day off. A bit of an adrenaline rush, trying to get warm before I start to shiver, but that was all okay. So things have gone amazingly well so far. Finland, 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 Finland. Finland is the place for me. Finland, Finland, Finland. Good morning. A week has passed and here my trip meter says that I've ridden 801 kilometers, which means probably another 4 or 5 days, and 5 days max I hope, and I've made my first destination. It's been I've learnt so much along the way. It's been so interesting to see the landscape change and adapting to new situations, and one very typical new situation is I did amazing. I did 150 kilometers yesterday after a day's rest. I did my first shopping, recharged batteries, and it was a long day, and I was very tired after it all. And then I had to find a place to sleep, and I saw a forest, and I thought, wow, look at all these trees and stuff, and look, wood, and there's no people around. It should be really good. And I started, I pushed my bike into this place, and the more I pushed it in there, the more the more hard it was, and then the more I realized I wasn't treading on solid ground. And it's something I'd never really experienced before, and it turns out that this area here is I've seen patches of this now, and this is becoming more and more typical as I progress. This is, I think, what I'll be seeing more and more, like as I go north. Then it could be classified, I think, as an Arctic bog. It's weird, like as you walk around, there's no sense of anything solid under you, and and in the middle of the night it looked really spooky, and it was something I'd never experienced before. I didn't know really how to deal with it, and I was scared. I thought there'd be what sort of animals would be here or whatever, but it ended up being a really peaceful night, and it was good. Weather-wise, it's been interesting. I've noticed that whenever there's a headwind, which is a northerly, the skies are clear, and I actually like it. It's beautiful, it's crisp, it's cool. You get a frost in the morning, it doesn't bother me. I find it very refreshing. And then when you get the northerlies, the southerlies, you get it's kind of, what is it? It's like it clouds over, and there's a chance of rain, but you're flying along with a bike, so there's you know, kind of advantages to either one of them. So I'm very satisfied with. You know, I was worried if I could physically make it, but it doesn't seem. My rear end is starting to get used to the seat, and the only little problem might be I've popped a couple of spokes on my rear wheel, and I hope that's not too serious, but I don't plan to fix them because that'll mean going to a main town, and that's not my intention, so we'll see. Well, looks like this bike ain't going very far. Look at that wheel wobble. That's from the spokes that I said were broken. There was 3 of them. On top of that, I had a flat tyre, probably from the dirt road that I was driving along. So looks like I might be able to ride it, but not very far. I have to drive back into the town that I was in and find out where the closest place is where I can get replacement spokes and a tool to be able to do it with. Time lost. Well, the news is I can't get my bike fixed in this town. I've asked around and not a chance, and luckily my only choice, and it happens to be on my way anyway, there is a big town 60 kilometers away, so I'm going to have to ride 60 kilometers with a very buckled wheel and no back brakes. It's going to have to be very slow, and lucky I've got all day, and geez, I hope I make it. This is it then, my first, if you look at the number down the bottom, my first 1,000 kilometers, and well, nothing special. I mean, like another day in the office really. I'm just seeing now how people can just do this sort of thing indefinitely. You know, I feel fantastic. You know, despite the distance, I feel really good, and it's just been so fascinating. Never been a dull moment. I've never been bored just watching how the landscape changes and the people change, and the culture, the houses, it's just been the most amazing experience, better than I thought. And one thing also that I didn't expect was how different the nature is around here. And I just got one now in my... You get these little flat flies that kind of quietly land on you, and they crawl around in your hair. They don't bite or anything, but they're bloody irritating, and as soon as you stop near a forest somewhere, that's what you get. That's one of those things I wasn't expecting. And yeah, the nature's very different. As you can see now, there's mosses and lichens, you know, becoming more abundant. The trees are a lot shorter. It might not look that much different to more southern parts of Europe, but believe me, when you get intimate with this sort of landscape, it throws up a whole bunch of new challenges that I'm really looking forward to actually experiment with. So my destination is probably about first destination's about it's about 2 more days away, I'd say, and then it's time to regroup and start planning for the next phase. I'm bloody excited, I tell you, of what's still yet to come. I think this is only just the beginning. Driving down a regular country road, but I don't know. Look at the size of the sidings. Each left and right is about as wide as the road itself. And what's the reason? I don't know. Considering the remoteness of the area, I don't know. It might be double as a runway or something for emergencies or military purposes. God knows what. It's quite funny that at the Romanievi 10-kilometer sign, I actually see my first reindeer for the whole trip. I don't know if you can see them there. They're probably about to run away. But finally, I've come a long way to see these guys. Wow, I can't believe I'm almost there. My destination. Woohoo! And at the end of it all, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a rainbow. It's very symbolic of today, actually. And as we pan across to the left, I think there's the church spire before I crash. I think that's the centre, and that's where I'm headed for information. Yep, well, this is it in all its glory. The home of Santa Claus. In this very impressive looking building here, right in the very centre, there's a big cavern where you follow the path to Santa, who seems to be working all year around, taking people's wishes for a price, of course. No, it's free to see him, but you know, if you want to actually see him and sit on his lap, which I wouldn't be too fond of, yeah, you have to pay for the photograph that they take. But yep, this is it. This is the Arctic Circle here. Oh, here it is. Hang on. Yeah, it's an amazing complex. You know, there's just rows and rows of. You know, it's all very commercial, of course, and well, it's all kind of based around this thing here, I suppose. The whole Arctic Circle. Now, which side am I on? I think I'm on. Hang on. Yeah, I'm above the Arctic Circle now. So there it is. Fantastic. Well, what do I do now? I've just done some shopping and starting to get some supplies together for the next phase, and then hopefully push off. I've already spent one night in Rovaniemi and one more night, and hopefully I'll be back on the road, but I'm not sure which road yet. We'll see about that later. I'm pretty chuffed about this road sign actually. There aren't that many signs to cities on this thing, right? So you've got all the major and most important cities in the world, including Riga, and there's the distance. I went further because this is the distance as a crow flies, I think. So that's pretty cool, and it's interesting to see that Sydney's not included, and I'm really surprised Adelaide's not on there. Oh, and another thing about this signpost is, see North Cape? Well, the secret's out. I think that is going to be my next destination, which is the northernmost part of Europe.